Today we are continuing learning about space and we're reading a story. This story is written by Andi Diehn and illustrated by Katie Mazeika. This book is called Space Adventurer Bonnie Dunbar, Astronaut. Let's check it out. Before we do, let's take a look here and see what we can see and what we can guess. What do you see here on this first page? Yeah, I see a small person. I think it's a little girl, and it looks like she's thinking about space. Let's check it out. Quick, look, a satellite moves across the sky. Young Bonnie and her family watch it go by. Years later, Bonnie remembers the sight and thinks her next goal might be space flight. I want to be an astronaut, she tells her friends. She works hard in school, which NASA recommends. The Challenger launches with Bonnie and crew, and they see the Earth from space, a sight few people do. Bonnie Dunbar looked up into the night sky. Her whole family stood outside on their cattle farm, gazing at the stars, planets, and Milky Way. They were looking for something new in the sky. There it is, Sputnik. The very first man-made satellite to orbit the Earth was passing overhead. Sputnik was proof that humans could travel into space. Maybe they could travel to the moon, to other planets, even to other solar systems. After Sputnik flew across the night sky, many children around the world went to bed and dreamed of traveling to space. Bonnie was one of them. Have you ever dreamed about traveling to space? Would you go to space if you could? Think about it. But Bonnie would have to wait to go to space. She was still a kid, just like you. Bonnie and her family lived on a farm. They didn't have electricity or running water. Bonnie grew up riding horses, milking cows, branding cattle, and picking asparagus. She drove a tractor, learned how to use tools, and built her own treehouse. Bonnie and her family worked hard. Tell me, how is Bonnie's childhood different than yours? Go ahead, tell me. Yes, you do have electricity. That's right, because you're watching this video right now, and you couldn't do that without electricity or the internet, which is something that Bonnie didn't have either. Bonnie also loved to read, just like you. She read whenever she could. She read biographies of famous people, stories about scientists, and entire encyclopedias. Oh my goodness. She also loved to read science fiction. What if, she wondered, what if I could go to space? When she went to school, Bonnie remembered watching Sputnik cross the night sky years ago. I want to build spaceships, she told her teacher. Then you should take an algebra class, he answered. So she did. When you look at an algebra book, you might see both letters and numbers. Algebra is a kind of math that solves problems. Bonnie loved figuring out solutions to math problems. She loved figuring out solutions to lots of different kinds of problems. She took all the math and science classes at her school. Bonnie still dreamed of going to space. After high school, she sent a letter to NASA. Bonnie got a letter back telling her she needed to go to college before she could become an astronaut. From the desk of NASA, "Dear Bonnie, if you want to be an astronaut, you need to go to college and get a degree. Sincerely, NASA." Bonnie went to college and worked extremely hard. She studied and went to classes and finally became an engineer. Wow! Do you know what you want to be when you grow up? Whoa, that's a cool job. Oh, that's a good one too. Maybe you want to be an engineer like Bonnie, or a teacher like me, or even a paleontologist. Whatever it is, I'm sure you'll be great at it. She still dreamed of going to space. She applied again to be an astronaut. But again, NASA said no. But Bonnie didn't give up. She went back to school again. That's called perseverance. And the next time she applied, NASA said yes. Bonnie was accepted to the NASA training program. From the desk of NASA, "Dear Bonnie, yes, you can be an astronaut. Sincerely, NASA." And because she was so close to making her dream happen, she worked even harder. Finally, Bonnie rode the Space Shuttle Challenger into space. Bonnie looked out the window and saw Earth, a beautiful blue and white sphere. You know what a sphere is, right? A 3D circle, that's right. And she saw all the space surrounding Earth, waiting to be explored. She was the 7th American woman ever to go into space. After the first trip, Bonnie went back to space 4 more times. She has spent 1,208 hours or 50 days in space. She has flown more than 200 million miles. That's a long way from watching Sputnik pass over her family's farm. Wow, that is such a cool story about trying your hardest, learning your best, and achieving your dreams. I hope you start thinking about your dreams, and I wish you all the best of luck to achieve them. I know you can. You just have to believe in yourself. Let's do our handshake, Team B. Up, down, wiggle, wiggle, pop. Love you guys. See you soon.